Russia's latest territorial victory in Luhansk. What you need to know as the U.S. adjusts its support to Ukraine. The bold claim, Russia asserts complete control over Luhansk, a significant yet contested milestone. The Russian occupation governor for Ukraine's eastern Luhansk region declared on Tuesday that the entire area of Luhansk had been taken over by Russia. This marks the first complete control of one of the 4 eastern Ukrainian regions Russia has officially annexed. But here's where it gets controversial. Leonid Pazychnik, the pro-Russian authority, stated on a Russian TV channel that the Luhansk People's Republic is now 100% liberated. This announcement, however, isn't unanimously accepted. Some Russian military journalists contest the claim, mentioning that 2 villages still remain beyond Russian control. It's also worth noting that Luhansk was previously claimed as secured back in 2022, yet was partially retaken by Ukrainian forces in a counteroffensive in September of that year. And this is the part most people miss. Despite these achievements, Russian forces have slowly expanded their control over the area in the past 33 months, symbolizing an incremental victory for Russia in this extended conflict. This development also highlights how the Ukrainian forces have found it challenging to reclaim ground as the conflict drags on. In another twist, on the same day that Pazychnik announced Luhansk's full control, the United States declared it would be halting some weapons shipments to Ukraine. President Biden's administration's decision, the White House explained, was aimed at prioritizing America's own interests and assessing military support commitments globally. Could the strategic significance of these territorial milestones be fading? Russian forces reportedly reached the border of the Dnipropetrovsk region during the first weekend of June, marking an unprecedented moment by controlling the full breadth of the Donetsk region, though a third of it remains under Ukrainian control. These incremental gains, while important, don't signify a substantial shift in the conflict pace or a breakthrough for the Russians. The elusive buffer zones. According to Igor Gorotenko, editor of National Defense magazine, the Russian military is now focusing on forming a buffer zone across a stretch of 70 to 120 kilometers, or approximately 40 to 75 miles within Ukrainian territory. These buffer zones, previously discussed by Russian officials and endorsed by some Russian policymakers, are meant to secure areas far behind frontline positions from potential Ukrainian counterattacks. In past statements, Russian officials have indicated a buffer zone as a strategic measure to safeguard areas from retaliatory actions. Russian President Vladimir Putin on June 20th reaffirmed his desire to claim full Ukrainian territory, despite Moscow's official annexation of only Luhansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson regions. This stance has been interpreted by various experts as a continued pursuit of more territory under Russian control. What are your thoughts on the effectiveness of such buffer zones? Do they truly serve the intended defensive purpose, or do they signify a prolonged and expanding conflict? Drop your thoughts and let's discuss in the comments below. Ukraine's counterattacks and strategic developments. Amid the heated conflict, Ukraine continues to counterstrike within Russian territories using long-range weapons. Recently, Ukrainian drones targeted the Kirovsky airfield, and it's reported that at least 3 attack helicopters were destroyed. Additionally, Ukraine's general staff highlighted a successful aerial attack that incapacitated 4 Sukhoi 34 fighters at Russia's Marinovka airbase, which are typically used to drop glide bombs on the front lines. What does this back and forth mean for both NATO strategies? Ukraine's persistent tactical success with drones shows its evolving capability in combat, adding complexity to the ongoing war. On June 30th, President Zelenskyy announced Ukraine's intention to withdraw from the Ottawa Treaty banning anti-personnel landmines, enabling Ukraine to manufacture, deploy, and use mines for its defense. A critical strategy or risky move? Anti-personnel mines have long been a contentious yet often necessary tool for defensive operations. What do you think? Can the use of such mines be justified to protect a nation? Share your views below. As the situation evolves, Germany has reaffirmed its support for Ukraine, promising significant military aid to boost Ukraine's air defense systems. This indicates a strategic focus on enhancing its defense against aerial and drone threats. With Russia intensifying its drone warfare, Ukraine stands to equalize the military balance by increasing its own drone production and capabilities. What do you think about the evolving role of drone technologies in modern warfare? Let's delve into this essential question in the comments.